Hi everybody, Tom here, and starting off today with Carpoon Boss again. Um, had a bit of delay than what I wanted to start, but that's the way it goes. So here I am in GameMaker, and I'll get going. We'll take a look at the Carpoon Boss to start, and I'll make sure it's on screen as OBS is a bit pickier these days about showing what's on my desktop. Probably how GameMaker swaps everything. Hello, Antonio. That's a very dangerous wheel to have on fire if it's a wooden carriage wheel. Hello, how are you doing over there? Is there much snow? I've been seeing on TV lately some places with snow that are like taller than people on sidewalks. Yeah, I'll take a quick look where we're at. Hello, Oscar. How you doing? Oscar, I suppose you're all caught up with everything for Nintendo announcements. And yeah, I get removed pretty quickly. Where I see it though, that the people are like hand shoveling it and they're having to move it, and there's almost nowhere left to put it. Okay, I see. I'm gonna have to rearrange my default monitor. Yeah, what is showing there? That's good. Nope. There we go. Okay, so we'll take a look at the boss. And I'll explain kind of my thoughts of where I want to take it. And everyone can kind of think about that. So, here's the boss in progress. I was thinking it wasn't aiming in time, but it kind of does, and it or gets caught in something and doesn't turn enough. That's something I'll consider looking at today. Like it's kind of off by 90 degrees at times. And I was thinking you could have two phases of attack. It has this charge, which didn't seem to be dropping surfboards there. That's different. That's a new bug. And after it can crush the player. So it can crush the player, and I'll have a phase where it drops cars and hops on them. And then those cars will be crushed. After, when it runs into them, they'll bounce around like a pinball, potentially into the player. I would like it if it wouldn't drive into the crusher as much. And that fire at the end should probably fade out when he's being crushed. We'll have to separate it. Okay. Oh, you're saying Tomodachi Life Direct was different for every region with the characters they used? But yeah, coming out soon. I never played the original, but I might as well try some experiment Nintendo had. Depending on how many other games are out, might as well take a look. I was thinking the other day, is Nintendo releasing so much information just so we only think about Nintendo? Or is it that Sony and Microsoft have had almost nothing lately? Because it's January, and they have maybe fewer bigger releases. Microsoft had a indie kind of game direct, a partner direct almost, but they had a Double Fine is making like a pottery party game where you like mold your own character out of pottery, and that factors how you play. But it'll probably cost a lot. I still have to play their game Keeper. All right. Can you code it so the monster truck avoids the crusher is not hooked by the harpoon? Yes, I think I could do that. Although it's just a matter of overriding the normal movement. So let's go. I'll also grab my controller. Okay. I think an easy start is I like the fire not to go in. Oh, and of course during that time, those were the new tires I hand drew. So before it was like smooth tires that didn't animate, now they animate. Yeah, the unreleased couple of games for Virtual Boy is exciting, especially because one's a F-Zero like racing game. What was the requirement getting the accessories? This is my state machine script getting far too long for the monster truck. I might have to break it out into little scripts, although it can like be in the state but in a script. Have I progressed in Deltarune? So I was near the end of Mr. Tenna. I got to a point where things were a little weird with him, and kind of like a chase scene going on, which is neat. I do know what the third battle is going to be, because if you do well enough, you can try all the mini games in advance. So I got to try the last battle with him as a mini game beforehand, but some late nights recently, so I haven't had much progress the last few days. Enjoying it though, but yeah, last few days I've just gone to bed and fallen asleep within 5 minutes. Like after this boss, I think I'll definitely be playing some games on stream, although not Deltarune because that'd be spoilers for everyone. But I'll also just be having a game break after. So Yoshi is joining Mario and Luigi. Yes. What a funny date for April 1st. Yeah, I played Deltarune and I played the How Many Dudes demo by the creators of Levelhead and Crashlands on Steam. That's pretty popular. It's not much gameplay. It's just making choices and letting dudes Little cartoon dudes fight ducks and stuff. It's pretty funny though, so I can see how it has 100,000 wish lists. Okay. Well, this is working game. So my idea was that when it's charging or hopping to points, that's going to be hard. And it can simply follow a straight line and do what's called a lerp. A lerp is when it has its end destination and a start point and just move there, because then I don't have to worry about like aiming and moving and stuff. I'll just try a lerp and we'll see if that works. It'll be quicker too. I was checking footage of a boss I've played in the past and a little bit of inspiration for this. I guess I'll just tell you that boss is the caffeine from Going Under, Aggro Crab's first main game before they made Another Crab's Treasure and Peak. So buy Going Under or play it if you haven't had it. Although I think they're doing okay right now. So yeah, let's make that lerp faster. Or let's make a lerp happen. Let's make it faster. I can duplicate the state I had in the past so I don't lose my work. The Splatoon 3 update is interesting. Like, I guess they're a ways off from a new major update, that expansion. So they just want to keep people interested in continuing to play Splatoon. Take the leap of faith. Lerp of faith. Oh. I'm slightly tired, so that's even funnier. I was saying after this boss, I should set up a Carpoon store better with more designs on the shirt. So I should get those stickers you did on it. At least, even though the stickers are for other things, like it should be available for people I don't meet. Slowly working on trying to get a 3D print option, thanks to one of my friends, of a 3D printed truck. I think that'll be fun. Okay, here's state charging. This is what we want. Could try making these regions, could be faster. No, but thank you for being here both. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to use this speed multiplier to overwrite the old enemy car code it takes care of. But I would have to say, like, don't move at all, just do this lerp. So Oscar, you heard a rumor that next week another Nintendo Direct will be coming and maybe a partner showcase with games from Indian third-party companies. Yeah, that's tough to say. Yeah, there are some rumors doing it. There was that Orbital's cool-looking game saying they'll be in a Direct on Bilibili, which I can't read, so I'll just trust people. So a Direct, really, always has third-party games in it with some of the major partners, but it's sandwiched between Nintendo games. I guess Nintendo hasn't shown us a ton, especially like I guess we had the movie, we had Tomodachi Life, and then we had some small updates. It's not really their roadmap for the first half of the year. So all those games like Fire Emblem, Rhythm Heaven, maybe one new one. We've had Mario Tennis recently in an update, so probably not Mario Tennis, but some of the more interesting stuff, and maybe one more for later in the year. Although they don't like doing that, they could all put that in like a 40-minute direct, I'm sure. Yeah, 2 weeks. So unless there's some special new character they've been hiding or something, I don't think so. Next week you're getting Dragon Quest Seven Reimagined. That's tempting to dive into Dragon Quest again. I think I would just like there's 2 and 3. I really want to play 4 again. Like I had it a little bit. I rented it and I enjoyed it a lot, but I never beat it. Like I'd be tempted just to go to 4, but oh yeah, Wart. Wart could be a deadass if he's. That's the thing. I was like, should I be sad if Wart is only in the Mario Galaxy movie? But then I realized if he's in the movie, he's way more likely to be in more games after 2 or nearby. So I don't mind. I'm happy if he gets another nod. I want to redraw a shirt I had that said "Eat your vegetables" and it was Wart, like with a bunch of vegetables shoved in his mouth, and he's just like in pain and dying. So that's works out for me if Wart comes around again. Yeah, Birdo's coming. They're more exciting for me is Mouser. Uh, Mouser is a pretty cool character. It's kind of tricky with bombs, and the tiles in Mario 2 are really neat. They're kind of like Mega Man 2 at a level like this, I think, or 3. They're kind of like crystal bubbles almost, or glass bubbles uh, that were colorful. Mario 2 had some pretty neat and tough bosses because you'd always be like, do I catch this or do I dodge it? And also, well, not falling into a pit. It's almost as if Mario 2 was based off an entirely different game and reskinned. Okay, well, I'll see if this works on a script. It could make it easier rather than me jumping around everywhere. Just, let's see. One thing with this boss, like I do have to try and finish it, but I am considering drawing a bunch of stuff for it. I'll have to see the scope of it because Carpoon sales right now are 0. So I ideally I want to get this boss out in a sale, like my own sale, and then have a sale again in the March Steam Spring Sale. It may be that I should lower the price of Carpoon, but I'd hope more content would help that. Okay, now to duplicate this, I'm going to put it back up. I've been thinking too that in some of the tasks I do, like if I want to do more video type stuff or TikToks for Carpoon, I will probably like record a bunch in one day and try to batch everything together instead of like trying to do a little bit and switching tasks. I find switching tasks takes a lot of time. Yeah, dispatch was censored. My friend gave me dispatch for Christmas on Steam, so I still have to play that one. And it's a perfect game for the end of the day, apparently, because it's just a point and click adventure or something. A lot of people like it. I wonder if I'll like it. Oh, I see a problem with this script. Is that I can put this here after. I'm going to at least have it as a backup, but all the variables I want, I'm going to be jumping in and out of here, so I'm going to have to create some things for the lerp. I'll keep it here for now and I'll move back. Yeah, people generally don't like having content denied from them. Let's create some lerp variables. We'll need a lerp start point and a lerp end point. That's pretty easy, and that's easiest way to do it is X and Y. Lerp start X. I think this will really give the quickness I want. Okay, we'll need the lerp start time. Zero. Oh, did Kensuke Tanabe officially retire? Hideki Kono, I think they found that was out last August. Like we knew Kensuke Tanabe had stopped working at Metroid Prime, so it's like, yeah, he's probably retiring, but it wasn't official yet. He, I think, did levels in Mario 3, which is crazy. Yeah, a long time. So we have this state for charging. I might also make something like lerp movement equals true. Just an easy true false thing. It's like I could just use this, but I feel like this might make it simpler. Yeah, we are going to get to the era though where a bunch of famous Nintendo developers retiring, but you have to think it's game development. There's so many people now that obviously there's a lot of probably great people there at Nintendo, as the Imamura-san hinted at, and we just don't know about them until they're like one of the top two people leading a project. Like you could look at different credits if you wanted to and see who's moving up the food chain. You could probably figure it out that way. I do not. I do not want to do that. I'd rather just be playing more games. Yeah, we'll get with new people. We'll get new ideas. Hopefully, new game experiences. Although, probably be. I'm more open now, but I remember in the past been the mindset like that's not the type of game I want to play. It's like the Steam incremental games and stuff. Like I don't want to play that type of game. Yeah, that was a funny intro. I wonder if like he had nothing to do with any of the other stuff after he transformed, or if he did. This stuff I might not need. Um, Probably all that'll change. The main thing is just all this. I can just put an alert movement here. So I'll have to set this just before it goes to the charging state and the endpoint, I guess. Might have to move that. Just up when it's revving up. I can set these and then move on to it. Okay, state charging. X. We'll have to figure out the endpoint. Let's just make it charge to. I don't know where's this. Oh, we can. We want to charge to where the player is, so we'll copy this as a backup in case the player is dead. But if not, it'll go there. Back in GDC 2007, Miyamoto talked about the development of Mii characters. Did he talk about them as a me? But that's a GDC talk I didn't know about, or it's been a very long time. Yeah, it's funny how long me me characters have been around. Now, right now with this boss, it's kind of important to get done, and then there's no rush in other Carpoon stuff. I should be trying to get it worked out in a couple new games as well. Carpoon Junior from last time. That one I'll probably try on a game jam again. But I'll decide if I want to do it in Pico 8 or just anything else. And like I had advice, it's harder to do a game that's turn-based like that, or a turn-based tactics game, than to just make a real-time auto battler. So that's something I'll think about. And of course, survivor games aren't super hot right now unless you're a Mega Bonk. Okay, this is going to be the end point. Technically, we might want to lead where we aim for with the player direction. I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I'll just go where they are. And they'll be in bounds. Hopefully. They'll be in a place in the world we can go to. Like, I could draw a line and zip across the screen eventually. Like, see where the player is and go to the other side. But I'll start with the easy one, which might be what it acts as in hard mode in phase 3 anyway. Okay, well that's all set. It should go to where the player goes. Now, I used to have a lerp with the lava level and the lasers, and they would go follow the player, and it'd be terrifying. But then I realized if you just move really slowly, they'd never catch up to you. Um, I don't know if I should have fixed that. I might have just should have left it because you probably don't notice. It would just be funny if you stop. Same thing here happens with this boss. If you stop, the boss will just kind of drive around you. I'll probably have to make it. If the player stops, it'll just stomp and drive over the player. Sometimes we have to work backwards here, which is funny. If the time is, because the time can be kind of decreasing with an alarm, that might not be the case here. So we always have to keep finding the current time minus the end time. And we'll see. A lerp is kind of 0 to 1 sometimes. So we have to kind of divide that down into percentage of the time we want. So you can find the value given percentage. So but you can go over. That might be handy. While the player there, I can put the lerp to like 1.1 and go slightly past the player. That might be an easy way to do it, as long as the player is not at the edge of the world. What would be the max? Like maybe 1/2 a second would be really quick. 1 second. 0.6 seconds. Let's try 0.6. Well, I guess one is easier. Man. So 1. Lerp start time. I feel like I'm doing this wrong. I'm gonna say it's the opposite. Like this was 10, and we're at 2 divided by 10. I'm gonna check with this handy tool. Doing it live. Yeah, it was late night yesterday. Everybody leave me alone. Okay, lerp percentage. Whoop. And in this case, because we're counting up, we can do it in that order. With alarms, it's tricky in GameMaker because they'll go down to -1. So you have to kind of stop when they're at 0. Otherwise, they'll do this weird blip. Now, technically, this probably will overwrite any movement that the character has. But we can see if we can stop it. Back in the object code of a regular car that it overwrites. I'll have to ask, is anyone playing Mario Kart World still, or Kirby Air Riders? Like, guys are supposed to get Kirby Air Riders to try out City Trial, but I get the feeling everyone has stopped playing it. Okay, I think here I can do that. Probably. It's the thing in the end step too where it doesn't move around. I'd be tempted just to say this is a boost jump. But I think that would break a lot of other things. Enjoying driving in free roam. Yeah. It's like Diddy Kong Racing, just driving around the world map, but with a way bigger map. Yeah, your epic Legends ZA quest. The game I wanted to play, Beastie Ball, there was an email the other day from Greg Lebanoff, the developer. And like I did play a few hours, but there's that 1.0 of that game won't be till 2027. I think they're doing 100 beasties, which are kind of like volleyball playing Pokemon. It's a volleyball Pokemon like. And they're done animating 50 of them. So it's kind of like a long-term game. Like there's more than just the regular game itself. Okay, well maybe I could probably just say boost jump is true. That's this. I was thinking still about Battletoads the other day because of my one Carpoon minigame I want to do. And I've seen this video show up about an impossible section that I don't even remember. I'm like, did I do that as a kid? Or did I know the trick? Or did I not even get close to this part? Because it wasn't the turbo tunnel. It was some other thing where you hold onto a disc and move around while you're being chased. Okay, boost jump's true. And we'll make this false. Which would be bad if it was boost jumping, but there's no boost jump in this level, so it's okay. Back here. In a couple places. And now it's like, is that it? Is that everything? Am I missing something? Probably the direction's messed up. Let's see when it crashes with an error. I think IGN had asked Nintendo about that, and Nintendo said it was a mistake giving Metroid Prime Echoes and Pikmin 2 on that document to them. Or maybe I don't see how you make that mistake though. Like I think you're planning to do it. Or it could just be what they thought was possible at the time. But yeah, they said it was just an error. So that's a little fishy, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Vern? Because the other one with the blurred out images in the direct, which I suppose is different than giving it a retailer. that for N64 games has all been coming true. Okay, you can see the. Oh no, I have two players. Only one player. I will have to program in some code later for them. The boss has multiple players to choose from. Like, does he pick a close player? Does he pick a player with more score? Probably don't have to think about it that much. Probably just have to pick a close player. Okay, this is very handy just to press M to get the boss in. All right, are you gonna zip? Where do you? I feel like he zipped in the wrong direction. I'll bring him back in again. We'll see. Maybe I should add two players. Okay, he's like, whoa, whoa. He's gone, folks. He's being teleported around the edges. Okay. Oh. Okay, hop back up. Okay. Well, it's gone. I think. I don't know. He's doing something at least. It's better than doing nothing and left wondering, I suppose. Okay. So you hope Rhythm Heaven Groove will get its own presentation. I don't want another presentation only for it. It's too many directs. Nintendo, for all its care about keeping the Nintendo brand strong, does not care about keeping the Nintendo Direct brand strong. I think they're watering down the word direct too much, even though it's true, it's direct to the person, but what it represents is a big, huge event. It doesn't have the same meaning anymore. Also, I'm saying that from a standpoint is that Nintendo already has my money for Rhythm Heaven Groove. Like I've decided to throw my wallet at that, so they don't have to do anything. I know they do, but for me they don't. That's my greedy point where I'm coming from. Like at this point, they can only ruin it. They can only ruin taking my money by showing me more, by showing me something that maybe I don't like. So, I don't think he's composed the singer anymore because it turned out in a sad story he had like larynx cancer, which is like your vocal cords and stuff, and I think they were removed or something happened there. So it's nice to return back to the series, which would kind of explain why we didn't have Rhythm Heavens for a while. So it's kind of a sad story, but nice. He got over it and kept going. Yeah, I saw that on VGC. I didn't know that. So it'd be cool if they have a ass interview with him after what points he'll be talking about. If he can talk. Like, he might be writing down his points or using some sort of machine. I'm not sure. So yeah, neat story. Okay. What can be messed up here is the time. He said, yeah. Oh, when did he say that? I missed it. But yeah, it makes sense, several years. Especially if it's a small team and you're just trying things for the direction of the game. So I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to set my own alarm. Oh, it's alert. If this is greater than 1, it should move on. That could be a problem. Oh, I'll look that up after. That's interesting. Well, you would have to have a character almost that is like Pokemon trainer with multiple characters. Although if a little simple guy like from the recent trailer was okay, you could do that. I think of the baseball guy a lot. Um, there's been a lot of characters over the years. Like you have the wrestler. That'd be hard though, because you're doing individual movements, but a lot of them are just like machinery and stuff. That be a very unique character. Oh, that's a good idea. That would be very tricky with online. Sakurai can do it. Yes, of course, Sakurai can do it. What will he be working on? Will it be not Smash Brothers? I think this was for crouching. Okay. So to make it easier for me, in case I'm screwing this up, I created a timer, just like a generic timer. Here it is, extra timers. Like I ran out of timers before, so I'll create one alarm, 6 slurp time. Oh, I do have one for charging. Oh, no stun stars. Okay, I'm just gonna do. This is one of those things I was thinking about what to do the other day. I wrote down ideas, and this is the doing it part. Oh yeah, next week Olympics and the Seahawks Patriots rematch in the Super Bowl. Um, It's quite something. They're both back there so soon with new rosters and coaches. For Olympics, I look forward to hockey and what's happening there. Hockey with the NHL players is super exciting. Even the one in 2014, that was exciting. I woke up at 4 to watch it with my friend. But the 2010 was the best one, of course, because it had been so long. And I remember 98 in Nagano. That was a bit of heartbreak there. Canada not even getting a medal with Wayne Gretzky. That darn Dominic Hasek. So yeah, some of the bet. Like there was that. The NHL had that small tournament recently with different countries, and that was already pretty good. But the Olympics is better. The pressure with what can happen, like one game, do or die. It's always pretty fascinating. And even with the best players that you have, you can not gel or something happen. But I think with the recent tournament, with a lot of the same players, they'll have a pretty good idea. Could be the last one for Sidney Crosby before he retires. A lot of neat things could happen. Yeah, it's the big leagues for sure. Like, it's nice sometimes, but it's not the professionals and stuff. But when you get the professionals in, like, it's the absolute best you'll probably get. Sucks though if they get injured midway through their hockey season, which is why they aren't always in it. Also for the Vancouver Canucks, I think the compressed schedule had them have a lot of injuries. But it's the same for everyone, but it's harder with all the travel on the West Coast. So this is that thing I was talking about where I have to avoid going to -1. Okay, lerp start time. I'll just call it lerp timer. That'll be -1 at that moment. Lerp. Would I remember if I used puns for them? I don't know. I don't. Okay, this will be. We don't technically want to do this. What we want to do is this. We want to set at this moment. Oh, I guess for Sega, maybe the Summer Olympics is way bigger. I wonder what they'll be doing by themselves. I'm sure Sega will be fine. Not quite Capcom levels, but they have a lot of good games lately. I'm still waiting for all those, Jet Set Radios and other games they announced. At least they're not rushing them out of the door. I think room speed is 1 second. Crash Bandicoot and Sonic at the Olympic Games. They could bring back the Plumber Boy type commercial, but he could be trolling Sonic instead of Mario. I think this is like, you can't, yeah, it's deprecated. It's like, but what if I want to do that? I'm just going to do that. I'll figure out how it's the new way to do it later. I'll get more coffee soon. So this triggers the alarm. I don't think I'll be able, I think I'll probably have to just refer to my timer.alarm 6. Even though it's not, it's a little finicky. With the alarm, I can't easily overshoot. Unfortunately, that's the downside of it, but I'll just try it to see if things work. Okay. So we don't want to do that again. Okay. Now we'll find the percentage. This is where I might have to flip it at one point. Okay, we'll go 1 minus, because as this decreases, the alarm counts down. It actually will become closer to 0 instead of completing it. So that should work. These two here, we'll make them 0. I'll make this, we'll make all these 0 for now. That could have been making it go crazy. All right, well, let's try that. I'll be back in a moment with some coffee. I'm back, baby. Yeah, fuel up, exactly. Now I will I have to consider maybe switching to Twitch at some point. If I do more videos, that might be worth trying. But I'll let you guys know. And Oscar, by default, becomes moderator if that happens. Sometimes good to try new things. Like, I'm wondering now sometimes if it's the consistency where less people are coming in, or if the game being out is less exciting, that there's less people here. So I do appreciate both of you being here, though. And if Twitch doesn't work for either of you, then I'll just continue on YouTube or figure out a way to stream to both. I was listening to another developer the other day. They do YouTube videos, but they do their live streaming on Twitch. Hey, was that a thing that worked? Let's see. Where are you going, buddy? You gonna... Oh, yeah, that's kind of like a lerp. It's a bit slow, but we know it works. Okay. He's going to go to the... Yeah, multi-streaming. I'll look into it. I'll see if my potato laptop can do that or if I need to set up my computer. Hey! I didn't even... Oh no. Why? So we need the direction to change now. I'll look into that. It should be a bit quicker. I think it might be like 0.2 seconds. Ooh. That's a good way to lure him. Like, that's... Well, this is pretty good to get it to do that in the second try. It would be nice to have the overshoot. I can try to fix what I was doing. He starts charging quicker. Okay. No, that's exciting. Now we can control more what it moves like. I don't have to adjust how he moves right now. Like, it could be more fun for gameplay, although it looks kind of bad. I won't lie. Promising alternate ideas. Sometimes you have to think of another way to do things. I could also make the max time different depending on the distance. Like, if it seems like a really short one, it could be quicker. But we'll get to that later. I think there'll be more than enough fun game streams here to do in the future. All right, so we have the lerp is faster, yes. We have probably direction will have to be fixed. It would be nice if he overshot the player. Let's see what. I'm gonna take a quick look at direction. It might be just setting one variable. Could be easy. It won't be, but I'll pretend it is. Okay, we need the physics rotation. So this is where he could also do a different lerp to how it rotates. I'm just going to set it. Yeah, I was doing that. I'm going to put it here for now. We'll see how that works. I'll open up the program I have to change it while it's compiled so things are quicker, that I often forget about. I will have to back up Carpoon after. I don't want to get too far away without a backup. That's always a bad idea. I will say the confusing thing about multi-streams is that you probably have to have the comments put on screen. Otherwise, it's confusing to like what the person is responding to. I think the player, he kind of aims. Like his movement is more based up where their direction is. Oh, yeah. If forwards, okay. Maybe I could have forwards false and backwards false. Okay, we'll see if this works. And we have the time way quicker. Well, take a look. Because I don't think I can only juggle so many things at once. Keep shifting over, but I also don't want to touch the camera because of the flaky cable and have the kind of old TV bars, colored bars show up. Okay. It's pretty good progress for an idea I had. So that is on a lerp. That could be a lerp later. It might be more exciting. Whoa! That was very quick. That's too quick, but I would be dead immediately. Okay. He's not aiming correctly. We'll have to fix that, but The movement's good. That's what matters. He's moving too quick for me to check if it's the proper direction. I feel like that was not the proper way, so I might have to slow it down. Okay. Let's see. So we said 0.2. Let me grab that time and I'll move it. I can't update this here, I think, because it's in the create event. It gets set there. So like, I wonder if I put it here, if it would change. I can try it. It would be a bit quicker than deleting the boss. Okay, we'll try one again, just see if it's really slow. Nope. Okay, but we want 0.5. And we will just simply kill the boss. That is the handiest feature I added rather than going back to the menu. Hey, the spikes are back. I put the spikes on a timer because before they'd be doing one every single frame. I'd kind of like the spikes to deteriorate. I feel like... So the lerp is kind of a consistent speed. It's almost like he should speed up and slow down. I might have to add... You might laugh at this, but it's called a slurp. Or a different type of lerp. Or we can do a custom movement. Yeah, it's easier. We can do a graph. So we'll try that next. But so let's see. Probably I'll have to change it based off distance because he's going to be, if I just stand here, it's going to be slower. Or park here. Yeah. So I'll kind of have to figure out a sweet spot for distance and the rotation. No, that's pretty exciting progress. I haven't noticed the weird tire overlap as much. I'm sure new players probably do, though. It's probably me getting used to it. That score, I think that score shouldn't just be black. It should be white. Or like, that was a bit of a weird slide. It's like also he slid right into the crusher. No, but this will be exciting. One phase will be done. And we kind of have some of the emergent gameplay in another phase when he calls down cars. And in this phase, this is the one where I'm thinking he has his own, like where that car normally shows up in the bottom left. That one there with the timer. That one I was thinking of doing a monster truck frame to be like, he's like doing a flex or summoning down cars. You kind of can see his expression better. I didn't actually mean to kill him there. Okay, let's try 0.4. Might change my bit rate a bit. My computer's probably screaming. I've lowered my bit rate from 15,000 to 10,000. I think like 6,000 to 9,000 is normally okay. I just done that for recording. We'll see if that catches things up. I'm probably like a minute behind. Okay, notes to myself. Direction. Path. Okay, so the most important thing right now, I think, is the amount of time we want to do. It would be nice to lerp past the point. But we'll get the time working first. Okay, so we might have to put it in here. Easy though, there's distance to object. It's also distance to point, but this works fine. This will set here because a player object can represent many things. So my player target. Later we'll find a specific player. We can go let's go instant nearest. Yes, I remembered something. Instant nearest. That'll work. That's an easy way when there's 4 players. And we don't know what the distance is. I'll put that out in case I had to see it. Now we can overwrite the time we had here. Also, if he's driving into the player at this state, the player will have to be stunned. That can be later. Like ideally he would just flatten the player, but I had to draw new graphics for that. And it's like maybe the player has to be inflate himself back up rather than just dying. I mostly want to remove time off the player. I'd say for every 200 pixels, that's 0.1 seconds. Either 100 or 200. So it's 100. Divide by 100, you'd get you'd get 1. You'd have to be 1,000. We'll try that. And that will adjust the lerp time between each one. And I think the direction wasn't working yet. Try adding 90 and see if my theory is correct. I think it's wrong, but we'll see. It's probably getting overwritten elsewhere. That's probably not to try for now. Try too much and it gets too hard to quickly do more changes after. So I think before there was a problem where it's kind of dealing with milliseconds. That's why I was going crazy, really far away. Oh, instance nearest needs like my point. Okay. Easy enough. Need elevator music when it's compiling. Dude. Thank you. I'm glad the stream is caught up a bit. I was looking before, I was like, wow, that's a real huge delay. Oh, I'll have to do a lerp for that first part too. But that could be later. Okay. Whoa! I think I broke him again. Oh no! I hope you're drawing or something. I hope you're doing important things or relaxing. You can test it. Okay. So I'm gonna count down in 3. After I do a countdown, we'll see how the delay is. And you can reply right after the countdown. So 3, 2, 1, go. About 6, 7 seconds. That's pretty good. Thank you. So before it looked like it was a minute off. It's like probably is speeding up or something to catch up to it. So that's much better than what I thought it was at. Thank you. All right. So I did write the message. I'll see what the distance was. What? Oh, I put my, that's dumb. I put, that doesn't help at all. Okay. Okay, we'll see with that what the actual distance is. I feel like that should be fine. That should be half a second. So I believe the time, because I have it in a few places, is kind of being overwritten. I'm not time. I don't think that actually plays a factor, but maybe it does. Not multiplying by room speed. We'll see. One thing in GameMaker I'm thinking that should do more is maybe like debugging, where you move a step forward. Like you can put a red dot here and it'll stop. I feel like other developers might use that more. And it might be quicker to find out problems. I almost read that as he lives, but he's live. Yeah, that's why. That's why I was slow getting back to you. I haven't checked those yet, Hayden. But no, thanks for coming by. You should be making a video. State break. No, thank you. No, yeah, I know. I want to take a look this weekend. We've been talking about many different Nintendo Direct things while I'm working on this boss. Pretty promising today. I'm using what's called a lerp now. So yeah, I figured you still had a ton of work to do and also have a job, and that would take some of the time, and a family. So I think with your video, it's best to, of course, take the time you need, as long as you keep working on it. Kind of have a deadline in your mind. Like, don't take an infinite amount of time, but don't rush it out the door at this stage, if you know what I mean. Later today, I might be trying to track down a Mario Tennis demo to try playing, only if it's at the local electronics store. I'm torn on Mario Tennis, if it's good or not. I thought it looked good in the trailer, and then Andre was saying it was looking bad in points. But it had the Mario Tennis GameCube mini games and stuff, and different courses. That's key for me. If it's just like pure tennis with Mario characters, not so interesting. So I'm trying to get through this boss, so I also have one less project done, but I have a bit of scope creep if I want to do drawing for the boss or make it so the boss antagonizes the player. So I think what I did there will work. Let's delete the boss and reload it with the new code. He's dead. Okay, boom, boss. So with a lerp, we can kind of decide the distance. Oh, that's still broken. It was working earlier, but then I changed it. Okay, obviously not working yet. Let's see what the messages I put in there said. That's really short if it's only 22. I guess that's the amount of frames. It feels wrong. Maybe it's like it doesn't feel right. Maybe it is. I want to try 1 times room speed and we'll see what it is. Put it back to 1 second. The thing that gets me about time in a game is that I like to think in seconds, or maybe like 0.1 second. But if you have all these timers and they're set to not even milliseconds, they're like millionths of a second. If you're off by a little bit, it really screws things up, and it's also a lot trickier. Also, I might be using the wrong thing. No, it's still... Okay, well, they're max time here. Well, that should be fine, but... Should. No, wait. We'll just say 1. And then it's going to be 1 times room speed. We'll see if that just works as advertised. Oh, I had another boss there. Okay, boom. So yeah, we got animated tires. That was the big thing I was doing before. Nope. Whoa. Still broken. Nah, this is something I question if all this code in the create event is causing an issue, or it should be in the step event. I think that's unlikely, but it is possible. And what was the code saying down here? Now it said, okay, so 60. I guess 60 represents, 60 frames a second. So maybe it was okay with 22 before, but a little weird. Tabs moving around. I will close it and recompile in case it's one of those starting things. Okay, let's see here. Yeah. I should probably put a message here, and we'll just make sure everything is what we think it should be at this point in time. Antonio and Oscar saw it working earlier, so I know it works. I'm not crazy. It's on file. I've knowing it works, gives me hope to keep going. I'll just copy the stuff from up here. Because this is going to be kind of doing it every frame, so we'll get it, 60 times. I can put a counter in. I don't know. Lerp count. Lerp frame count. Probably having two different ways of counting this isn't the best. Okay, and we want the timer. And I guess we want the max time. I think that's everything we need. We might need to look at the points it's going to after. I did change that a bit. This should give us a pretty good idea what is going wrong. Yeah, this boss I had hoped to finish back in December, and then got busy with other things, so time can just fly by. Also, I'm really bad at knowing how long stuff takes making games or other projects if I haven't done it recently. A lot of things in games are always new, or there's different ways, so I envy a producer's ability to know how long something takes to make. Especially when you get later in a game and things can impact other parts of the game. Getting the tires was nice, though. I think the tires... Whoa! Got a bug. Line 536. Wow, that that could be something. Hence why games. Yeah, I was reading something recently. I think it was Nintendo Life, and like developers are the best intentions, but just wanting to hit that bar of quality, especially with all the other games out there, it can be really tough. Like Demon School was initially supposed to come out in 2023. And it had more delays later because of Silk Song, but this unfortunately does not tell me which one of these things is bad. Did the frame count just not exist? Did I spell it wrong? No, that's up there. I might have to break this into pieces. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do that. When you're having a problem, break it down into more manageable chunks. Or something I learned during long runs and bike rides. Just think about little chunks to get through. Otherwise, it can be overwhelming. Let's, in this little view, so lerp count, that should be okay. Chocolate chip chunks. Ah, yes, chocolate chip cookies. One of the snack foods I will eat. Although I try to limit it to 2. But those packs, when you get like 30, it's very easy to have like 6 cookies in a day. Now, freshly baked chocolate chip cookies, that's where you just, if there's an oven, you have to just take them from the oven, otherwise they'll be gone. In a family household. Damn, cookie and dangerous. Yeah. Antonio, what have you done? You've made us all want cookies now. Okay, we're going to just see what part is broken here. I think I drew a comic one time where it was, I think it was for chicken strips though. And it's just like trying to eat them off the tray for some reason. And like horribly burning, the character horribly burned themselves. And then I got comments because chicken strips turned out to be a term for motorcycles. Or like it was showing up on a motorcycle site. That was probably 20 years ago now. Back when I was learning to draw. Okay, let's see which one of those lines it crashes, if any. Maybe the line before is just written poorly. Nope. Okay, it's going. Oh, I didn't put string. I didn't put string around that one. There you go. Hopefully that's it. See, I just sometimes it's one of those things where it's like walk away and come back in programming. So Carpoon cookie in the works, officially announced. No. I would like to do another Carpoon shirt. I like the idea of the baby trucks, but I think the marketing of it is like nobody likes baby trucks. Or it's like too cute. Crumble your opponent. Oh, it'd be like Donkey Kong Bonanza. So like nobody plays the baby truck mode. In general, the appeal of Carpoon's low because it's more of a party game. Like it's not a game people like pick up and play to have a run of Carpoon. That's something maybe I should have thought more deeply about or like challenged myself more, but I think we all know how long it took me to do Carpoon. I do want to do hard mode after the boss, where you only get time extensions from the cars you bring in. I don't know if I can have some sort of like roguelike choice to modify how good you are. That would take... I'd have to think about different things to do. It's not really much that... Oh, nope. Still broken. But it didn't crash. So we can see what happened. Okay, the alarm counts down. Probably let us stop it when the alarm hits -1. The lerp percentage is negative, so he's moving in a negative direction, I think. Yeah. I think what's happening is the alarm is in frames a second. Well, the max time, we have to multiply that also by the room speed to get 60. It's basically trying to go 60 times further than what we're doing. So now we know. Now we know what the problem is. Great. I'd have to like divide the room speed if I was going to go that way. That's really confusing. If I have, I'm going to get rid of that. Because I have max lerp time and lerp max time. Yeah, it's super confusing. At least one is a variable, so I noticed being a different color. Okay. So probably something similar was happening before as well. All right. Let's see if just bringing him back, killing him and bringing him back will fix that. Nope, not yet. Probably really far down now. Oh, the alarm is now some ridiculously huge number. That's weird. Oh. I'm now okay. So I had even though I fixed lerp max speed by times my room speed, I had the timer set times room speed later. All right. Getting closer. There we go. Now we can focus again on making it quicker. I'm going to bask in it working properly for a few moments though. Yeah, so you see when it always moves no matter the distance 1 second. So we're back to that point. He seems, let's see if that was just a coincidence. It was 180 degrees backwards, or if he's always doing that. I'll add 180 or something. He's kind of already facing me here. Come on. Also, it'll have to be, that's pretty close. It'll have to be based off the point he's going to. It can't be based off the player position. I believe I have it off player right now, where for the angle. That's pretty close. Let's speed him up and we'll change the angle to that point. Okay. No. Probably we can just do the lerp start and the lerp end. Oh yeah, and the lerp curve. We'll do the curve after that so he accelerates and like quickly decelerates instead of just consistent speed. I've noticed that in some games, if they have a lerp, it looks a lot better. That. Okay. Oh, that's phase one. We do not. That was the wrong place to do that. Hello, Skeena. I'm doing okay. It's a bit busier week with Nintendo news and doing thumbnails for that, but otherwise fine. Had a Japanese course start again. Learning Japanese, but it's a different teacher this time, so it's a bit different. And have a half marathon tomorrow. How are you doing? It's a lot of fun to do all those drawings recently. Okay, here's one I wanted to change. I'm trying to finish my goal of a Carpoon boss. No, I think only the half marathon makes it a bit more. I've been trying to get ready for a marathon in March, so I want to go through a half marathon. Just there's less surprises on race day by doing preparing for a race in advance. And thank you, Antonio. Yeah, it's a very small, like it's the same distance, but it's a very small one, so that'll be different. The marathon in March will be an extremely busy one. I've managed, yeah, I think it'll be a bit colder tomorrow. In March, the thing that might be is that it could be a cold day, it could be a warm day, but probably have to just wear shorts regardless. I tried my faster running shoes yesterday, like those ones that give you a bounce. I try to only save them for races because they wear down quicker and cost a lot. But when you when you first put those on after training in regular shoes, it's like the difference between being regular Spider-Man and Spider-Man in the black symbiote suit. What I guess the feeling's like. It just pushes you forward without even trying. But no, thank you. I think it'll be good weather tomorrow. That's the main thing. Like, I think it can be cold. Ideally, it's just not rainy though. Rainy is a different type of cold. It was windy here lately, but yeah. I haven't quite got running far enough where I want to. Like, ideally, I'd be running, I'll say 16 to 18 miles or getting closer to 30 kilometers before the marathon. I've just done two. I've done two that are about half marathon distance the last couple of weeks. So for the half marathon, I'll be fine. For the marathon, hopefully I can get a couple slightly longer runs in and be better prepared. And it's funny, like with the marathon, up to about the 3/4 point, I would say from 6 miles to the 3/4 point, it kind of just feels the same. Usually around that point, it's that wall or feeling tired. That's when it's different. So you want to, I want to push the wall back as far as possible. I know, just finishing this boss, but hopefully be back more with playing games. How long does it take you to do half a marathon? Okay, so I think a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, I managed to do it in like point zero. I did it in like my goal was an hour and a half, and I did it in 129 point. I did it like 129:59 uh 0.59. It was some ridiculously, it was like less than a second before my goal would be over, so that was hilarious. But I think last year I did it, I think it was around 135, basically off. I didn't have much training until a month beforehand, but I did pretty good. Um, Tomorrow with pants and a coat, it might be a bit slower, and if it's windy, but I'll see. It's also a venue where I have to supply my own water. It's like a practice half marathon, so it'll be a bit different in that regard. But I'd say half marathon is like the easiest distance to consistently to have a consistent time based on like your performance, because at 10 kilometers, depending on the race and warm up and stuff, or like if I didn't eat far enough away from the race, for instance, like um, the speed of it and how busy it is can really affect the time more. While at half marathon distance, even if it's busy at the beginning, like there's enough time to go further. Well, at a marathon distance, it'll be spread out eventually, and the big factor there is just training and preparation and eating properly through the race, getting enough water. I do find it hard though. Like it's nice when you're in a pace group because you don't have to worry about like, oh, how fast am I going? But then at water stations, it can be like hard to get water sometimes because everyone in the pace group is trying to do it, and you can kind of fall behind then. And as the race goes on, it can be harder to catch up. For the most part, I try to stay like a little bit ahead to be in front of the group. But it's very hard to stay at the pace group a whole marathon. And apparently, like a pace or two will be going faster than what your target time is because they want to have a buffer in. But I think keeping track of the time myself is probably, it pays off just staying with the pace group. But anyway, I didn't do a marathon last year. I had a year off to finish Carpoon and stuff. So we'll see. I did do a half marathon, but we'll see how the marathon goes this year. Hopefully a bit more time for biking again this year. But can't do anything. Might go skiing next weekend for the first time in like 6 years. That hopefully will be fun. Okay, so I believe we were going to make it go faster and change the direction. So we got that direction. We'll have to see if we add 90. And what we're doing we're getting the distance. Did I comment it out? I think so. Or it was up here. Or it was up here in the previous state. Yeah, here we go. So instead of 1 times stream speed, we're going to try player distance, which is in pixels divided by, we're figuring about 0.1 seconds for 150 pixels. And we'll see how broken that is. We'll have to destroy him. I thought those spikes would be better if you can't move them. But then when I did it, well, it didn't really feel good. So I kept it as is, where you can kind of like slowly push through them. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but I figured it's enough of a penalty. Okay, he's moving really slow there. And his direction was off. We'll see what happens when he moves this way to me. Oh, he's kind of facing me. Okay. I think we had it at 1500. I had tried 150 because I thought it was broken. So what's probably happened there is going so slow, the other code to make him stop moving is taken into effect. And okay, that's revving up. Go down into the part where he actually charges. We'll subtract 90. It might have to be a flip. There's a weird thing with how physics rotation is, and like the Y might have to be negative. So we'll see. Well, you have a bit more zip. Yeah, that's pretty good. So now we'll make that, I think next we'll make that movement. Let's see how fast it is when it's up close. That's pretty speedy. The divider might have to be different. Might have to be different than like 150 per second. But it'll look different though once we add a bit of acceleration and deceleration. I hate that kind of weird spin. Okay, I'm gonna try not negative 90, but I'm gonna flip the Y and we'll see if that fixes the direction. Oh yeah, right now is Global Game Jam, but that was one I had a great experience in last year. I hope to do it again next year. I know one of my friends is like, if he ever did it, I would do it with him right away. But he has his game to finish and port to switch, dot defense. He was super nice and threw a party, a game night when I came back into to visit with Carpoon and his game and a couple other ones that were way more fun, but oh, this is great progress. This is way more like what I envisioned the boss to be moving as. Now I could, in going under, they draw a line where he's going, like as a tell. Like I was thinking, one of the potential possibilities is you could drop down cars and go drive through them. To your point, I think probably going to where I am is fine. When he's jumping around randomly, I might put a circle down. I guess too, I'll have to see how players respond to the boss. Like if I have him spin up enough, if I had like a sonic spin noise, it should be pretty obvious what he's going to do. Now, how far off? Let's see how far off he is when I move. One thing I thought would be funny when he puts those spikes down. Whoa, that was pretty aggressive. He was jumping. Is if he did a box around you and then jumped on you with nowhere to escape. Yeah, so this is where later I'll figure out if he can go kind of past your point. Like you'll have to kind of guess where you're going. I think I can do that. Like if the player is going that way, just aim a little bit forward and make sure you're not going out of bounds. If you're going out of bounds, just stop or go where the player is. Which, of course, all those types of little things add time to like games. Final wave. Oh, we made it to the final wave while testing the boss. In the actual boss, he'll be at the end, or like there'll be different phases of him through the match. Like it could be fun if there's an early one of him. Like Ganondorf in Zelda 64. No. I'm gonna. Whoa. Okay, now I can drag you in. That was a bit weird. Okay, now he should be going twice quickly. He should be doing 2 attacks. Kind of did. Oh, that's too many spikes. That's really... that's a slow. Is my computer doing a Windows update? Dear God. Oh man, that was slow. Okay. Let's add some zip with acceleration and deceleration. Okay, that is thanks to a new feature in GameMaker, because before it would just be done with a script, but it's kind of hard to visualize and tweak. I think it's not a path. It's something else. Paths are easy for how things move in the game. Animation curve. Okay. Here we go. We'll create we'll call it a boss charge curve. Probably keep anim at the beginning. No, I don't want a screenshot. No. So he's going from, we're calling like overall it's from 0% to 1%. And I think we wanted a smooth curve. An option. There is smooth, but I'll just use Bezier. Oh no, it's just not Bezier. It is. Probably, I think it has to be something like that. But this isn't speed though, it's how he's moving along. Like, I might, let's see if ye old Google can help me, or I suppose Chat GPT these days. Animation curve to speed up and slow quickly. Okay, ease in, ease. An S curve, all right. Steep, flattens, and steep. All right. So, not that. I feel like these are the opposite of what I want, but maybe it is. But I was kind of right though on what I was thinking. Like the thing is, like it'd be easy if this was just the speed you're going at, but it is the distance we are traveling for how I have it set up right now. Maybe it's like maybe I have like a little S curve and then another S curve. Maybe that's the way to do it. We'll see. And so if I do it where it goes past, I can just add a bit more to it. Let's see. Let's see how it looks. I might have to slow it down too, but we'll see. So far, this is working pretty well for overwriting the old enemy car code. Like I always wanted, I should try to do a drifting car at one point, just to know how to do it. I asked people, how much do you think it'll cost to buy a small CRT TV in 2026? I'd like to play some NES games again for real, but the response time, of course, is an issue on some of them. So it's like, I'm wondering how much would this cost compared to, just dealing with what I can on NSO and playing new games again. Okay, this is revving up. So this is the old way we did it. We're gonna keep this as a reference. We have to now change instead of a regular lerp, getting the point on a curve. I think current time, max time. Well, we'll see if this works. That's a script I wrote for some other things. I think what was I using it for? Maybe for scaling. I'm guessing this is where I'll accidentally go backwards. Yeah, okay. It figures out the percent for me instead of figuring out in advance. I think that's one thing where I was like, I don't want to figure it out every single time like what I was doing, so I just wrote that in. And also wrote in the code to take into effect that a timer goes down to -1. And we'll duplicate this. think one thing earlier is like, it's busy right now, but one thing I think about is trying not to be too busy or just focusing on one project at once, because then, there's no relaxing time. Like, what's the point of doing anything? But at the same time, I get to do a lot of creative work, but it's always that tough question. I guess most days I get to exercise, and that's pretty relaxing. All right. I think that'll do it. We'll see if it looks any different. Might not. I'm gonna turn on the heat. It's starting to freeze here. Yeah, back to the half marathon question. I'm probably going to aim just for like 140-ish, because that'd be a lot faster than training. Like if I can pace myself to do that, because the actual marathon, you don't want to go too quick. Because I've had it before in a marathon where I've done close to like 130 in the first half, and then the last half takes, 2 hours and is grueling. Very hard to actually have a first and second half of the marathon that is the same, a similar time. I'm guessing the movement is completely crazy, but we'll see. All right. Charging up. Kind of funny. He kind of teleported. I think the middle of the curve is too flat. Like it's working, which is nice. But not as intended. Yeah. I don't think curves update over time. I should probably just make a few curves and then I can swap them. Okay, let's go back to our... Yeah, so it's pretty flat here. It'd be very easy if it was a speed. Let's make it bigger. Maybe going like only having 2 points and just going like that. He's quick at, I want him to be slower at the end though. Well, I'll try this one and we'll duplicate it and we'll have an easy way to test it. That was not... What is... That was not duplicating at all. That was just creating a new curve. Maybe I did the wrong thing. You can create different channels in this too, if you're doing it, like for X and Y points, which is kind of neat. Whoa, don't do that. Okay, let's be ease, cubic. Cubic kind of looks like what we want. Okay, we'll call this ease, and we'll just try them out. This is where you can do a pun like, it's easy. And we'll create a variable curve to use. Easier to change. Yes, this one is like that. This one, just slow down at the end. We'll see what this is. Thumbs up for Antonio. Probably, I'm guessing that's for the puns. Court kind of looks interesting. Ooh, that'd be really slow. Yeah. Elastic would be weird because it kind of like goes forward and comes back. Bounce, see that? Bounce would be like hitting the player and like bouncing off them. These are where they're kind of handy. Oh, fast to slow. Mid slows. That might be too slow. We'll try mid slow and fast to slow. Is that 0? I think that's 0 and 1. Yeah. You can write in the exact numbers here, which is nice. Or yeah, cubic kind of looks like it's slow. It'd be too slow at the end. This could be a hint. Well, that's more like when it overshoots. You wouldn't want it to come back. I don't know. I want to just see Expo. What happens there? It probably goes really slow at the end. And we'll see if any of these fit the bill. Again, very easy if this was for speed, but no, we're doing the movement here, so it's harder to visualize. Okay. Once again, we will fire it up. was thinking about the NSO games recently. I have not tried Soul Calibur 2 yet with my NSO GameCube controller. Very disappointed. So I have not done that. I kind of missed the boat having to switch too late. Soul Calibur 2 being the game in university that I imported at like $160 with the freeloader to actually play it on a GameCube instead of, having a Japanese GameCube. That was the game that cost the most, but was the most worth it, because in North America it came out in September. Well, like in Japan it came out basically when the summer started for university, so we played it all summer long in Japanese, and somehow I got through story mode in Japanese, which was hard on, I think, the poison levels. So normally paying a ton for a game like that is not worth it. There's the one time it was. Okay. Boom. Like Soul Calibur is still one of my favorite fighting game series. Kind of sad it's over. Like I think Soul Calibur 6, one of my friends was saying, is okay, and you can get that for under $10 on Steam at times. But I remember 5 was just terrible. Okay, that's still moving weird. Let's try. So that was this one. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting numbers in weird too. Like I can try a linear one and see if a linear one works, if all these are bad. Okay, you will not have that, so you blow up. One thing I was saying to the boss at one point is if there were explosive cars that I had to drag and you would go to, hey, that's pretty much what I envisioned. It might be too fast. I might have to slow it down, and I'll see how it looks. But yeah, he's quick. He kind of quick to accelerate, and moves along. Then he slows down in a very brief period of time. I think I'm happy with that. That is what I envisioned. I'll have to check what it looks like up close. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have. I'll try one of the other ones that's weird just to see. I should have done the bounce back one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Up close. No, stop. Okay, that's just too quick, but if you're that close to the boss when he's about to charge, that's on you. So ideally he'll overshoot. Let's see what happens if we can get him. Oh yeah, I keep rushing it. He shakes off the player. Thanks to Antonio's suggestion of the honk. No. This is good. It's good testing. It was too long since I had a bug. This is one of the things where I'm looking for the player and he's not there. Okay, so it was basically, I think the player, I probably got crushed there. I got crushed by the crusher. Easy peasy. Step event. We'll just go if the player exists. And that's not even useful code. That's just for testing. Instance exists. O player. And as long as I have angled the player, yeah, it's there, so there'll be no problems. That should fix it. There's so many. I think is this my own script? No, that's the GameMaker ones. I created one that was like when I was super paranoid about things, that I checked if it was a null object too. It was something like that, but I don't think it's totally necessary. I had 2 different checks for the player exists. No, pretty promising. Okay. So it's a little bit fast up close, but not bad. Works great. So that was an ease like this. So quick, slows down. All right. That one would probably be too slow to get started. This one, he would probably too slow in the middle. And this one would be really slow at the end. He'd be like, whoop, and just stop. Okay, but that's great progress. And then after we'll check what it's like when it has multiple ones. So overshooting later. Aiming for the player, like where the player is going, like leading these point to go to. Direction is kind of good, but it'd be nice if he would lerp properly to that direction. Maybe we can fix that now. Just maybe. One thing that would suck is if he was aiming for a player and let's say he picked one and the player died right away, and then he'd kind of just be doing nothing for a second. I'll just go my player target here. The nice thing about this, I think, is if he chooses a player right away, maybe it'll get rid of the shakiness when he's turning, some of it. That might fix it. Very tempted to change the the font color right now, but that is not important. You should also bump into the player, or like if he hits them, he could push them away as if it was a jump. He's not really jumping anymore at the end, which is fine. That's something I'll have to figure it I'll figure out if you should still jump at the end of a charge. That might be different. Maybe the jump is saved solely for crushing cars, because a jump is solely based off doing actions right now. I'd have to redo the timing. It'd be hard to predict how far in advance you would have to jump. And two, the part of the thing was the jump was he created a shockwave and moved out the player. If he can bump the player away just by moving, it does the same thing. Well, I think if it's going long, I'd have to make sure it only happens once and he's not like hitting the player a bunch of times and like bumping it like 10 times in a row, because then probably the player will go off screen, out of the map. Okay, this is all our old animation code. Okay. We know the proper position is kind of like using negatives. So before I would have to do a negative here and a negative on the Y, and that would work. We need to... I kind of have to know the time. Like if he's always going to match it exactly, I can't just increase each frame. I should probably know the time and just do it that way. How long does he rev up for? Okay, it's about that long. The thing here is the target rotation changes over time. Oh, I think there's a few ways to do this, but I'll try a lerp. This is going to be all messed up again at the time. I'm sure of that. Okay, current. Okay. Time passed. Gotta break this down to this, the current time minus the start time. All right, and then the percentage would be that time passed divided by the amount of time we want to do that for, and we'll end. Okay, and we'll have to create an original rotation. Then we'll go target rotation. And we'll go time passed. No, rotation time percent. And maybe that will be more solid and consistent. Give you a good idea. We'll go original rotation, revving up. I'll put this at the very, very top. I think I'm gonna have to use that somewhere. Okay. I have to see where revving up happens. Okay, here. And set that original rotation at that point. Oh, there's a target boss rotation there. I already had one. Ah, well. Okay, where else do I do this? Oh, only here. Interesting. So after charging, I go back to roaming briefly. It's kind of surprising when I'm going through multiple charges. Revving up, yep. Jump takeoff, okay. He might not have been moving properly there. He's kind of still using time instead of getting to the end of it. That was to change from zipping forward to the next state. Okay, he goes to tired. From tired, he probably goes back to roaming. Yeah. All right. So that should be fine. Should. Okay, let's see how he turns now when revving up. I guess too, like he could turn and then rev up, but like if that was two phases, it'd be more work for me, but maybe clearer to the player. I think most players are moving around though. You kind of would have to always be aiming, in my opinion. Here we go. That red line represents the angle that he should be going at most of the times. Well, he jumped when he reached us. Like, he might not have to do that jump anymore. Or the way it was might not work. Okay, we're seeing where he aims when he's done roaming. Is he going to aim? Yeah, I think he could aim faster and then rev up. It's a bit slow, but he's doing the job. Yeah, as long as it's working now, it's easier to speed it up later. Oh, and thanks to Lerp. I wonder. I think thanks to adding like 360 a ton of times, it's not worrying about going from like 360 degrees to 0. He seems to be turning them the correct way. He's not turning the long way. He doesn't have a wide turn like the truck. That's the difference. Oh, what? Oh. Well, that's an error. That's. It's such an error. GameMaker didn't even crash right away. Revving up. Okay. Well, I'll save that. So something probably with the player angle there wasn't set yet, and it's like I don't know why I'd be setting an angle for the bricks. This is a totally different. It's back for the monster truck too. It's different. That's the original one that spawns it. So that's a weird error. Something else is probably just being accessed to memory and doing that. Potentially, the monster truck could just slide at the end instead of jumping. Let's just try it though, where he jumps. You have to jump while moving. That's weird. Like you have to be 80% of the way jump. And he kind of loses that speed going, oh, I'm going to think about this. Because we need a point. Ideally, after he does all this, he's tired. And that's the point when you can drag him. probably going to have to be based off distance and not the percentage of the lerp. Swapping to... That's an incorrect message. It's swapping to jump takeoff. And now we have to copy a bunch of this code. Might not be the worst in the world, although if I have to change things later, it gets a little messy. This isn't by room speed, I have to watch out. Okay, so now we're going to go to jump takeoff. Takeoff, I think, happens pretty much instantly. We don't have to put the lerp there. Put and jumping. We might have to undo this boost jump. We'll take that out because that was preventing normal movement. I think the idea here is like on the first one, he's going to go zip, jump, and slide. On later phases, he'll go zip twice. So he'll zip and jump again. On the third phase, he'll zip 3 times. And okay, whoa, I pressed a button. Fortunately, in a comment. Okay, we'll put move normally again, and we'll also prevent him from going to the next state unless this boost jump is false for when the lerp is done. Yeah, because if not, that's a big gameplay thing I'll have to figure out. We'll see. Okay, compiling again. We'll see if he jumps during the lerp. I probably won't go quite as long today, but give more time for marathon preparation and stuff. Won't make myself too busy, but yeah, thank you everyone for being here. Hope you're also relaxing or doing something fun. Keep on monster trucking, yeah. It'd be interesting if I can get it so he drops cars and jumps on them and crushes them. Because I think the idea I had there is he would jump on them and he would then pick the player as the last point. His movement might not be resetting. Oh, resetting exactly right now. Let's see. He's kind of, something's not getting reset, so he's just moving instantly. It worked right the first time. Oh, he's on fire now too. That's part of it. We'll see his normal state. He's still kind of jumping right at the end. So either it's just happening so quick, that's when the jump happens, or it's not working properly. Oh, okay, max slurp. I get it. That was supposed to be a percent, so 1 is correct. Yeah. Well, it's not a percent. I guess the percent would be 100. We'll try 2, so he jumps really early. This can probably be 0 still. That might be doing something, but I don't think so. It might be. He could slide at the end too. Like if he misses a player, he slides. That could be one way to do it. Another way is to just if he gets angry or dizzy. If he smashed into a wall, that's harder. Just make sure everything's working okay there, and we'll test it out again. with the new monster truck. That was more like what I wanted, although the jump is so high. It's kind of ridiculous. And the speed is different at the end. I'd have to create a new speed, what he's going at. He's almost better off just kind of like puffing and panting and running out of breath and getting tired. Or if he misses the player, like he tries to stop and spins out. Yeah, that's kind of the right time. I was supposed to be doing that. So it was working. We'll try the halfway point. Oh, this. Oh, is he speeding up more? For now. I don't know. Maybe can we. He's got a couple things here that might be messing up. This is all 0 still. I'll have to push this down. Although if he jumps again later, that'll change things, so we'll see. All right, how will you act? Yeah, it's a little high of a jump. Doesn't have to be that high at that speed. It's probably gonna be clearer if he just slides. Let us bypass the slide. We'll see how that is. Maybe that'd be it for today. Pretty good progress, I'd say. Getting a lot of the vision done. We can save jumping for when he crushes cars in the other half of his phases. That and he has a roam aimlessly phase. Just like the hay in Conquer. If he slides just before reaching the player, as long as we can keep some of that speed, I think it'll look good. And I guess I can make it so he hops back up if he hits it. Well, he stays down if not. All right, so how do we get to the slide? State jumping, blah, 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 blah. State tired. Okay. It's hard to visualize every type of thing with a boss. I guess maybe that's why some of them feel, like a boss and not just a big monster roaming around, because all these are like finely tuned systems. It's probably the easy way to start making bosses. Now we kind of have to like all that tired. Okay, jump, blah, 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 a bunch of speed stuff. I might not need that. But like I might have to figure out his current speed while doing the lerp and pass it to it and slow it down to make it smoother. He'll probably stop funny here, but we'll see. Okay, that was a bit of delay, and he's like, I'm too tired to get tired quickly. I think he is. Tires don't go out till his jump prep goes down. When does... Let me see if I set some things in the other part where he became tired. No, it just kind of became tired. Okay, there's something about... Something about when the tires go out. We want resting is true, I think. So where do we set that? Where's... Okay, it was just up higher. Oh, I put times by 8. It should be, so it was doing the 1.3 seconds, so I didn't do 0.8. Hopefully an easy fix there. Okay, gold car. And then I kind of gave him his normal speed again. He should just be slowing down to 0. Closer. So what we need to do is calculate the speed he is going at and decrease it to 0. And possibly consider, like, if he misses, do this. It's chasing me. Well, tired. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can do that for the last thing today. Yeah, and I have to add sound effects for a lot of this. Like when he's going across the ground, that could be spark noises, as long as he's moving quick. It's not quite as easy as it was because the speed is not linear anymore. I don't want to split the X and Y. So that gets funny in removing it. Although I'll probably have to calculate an overall speed. And I think in here I had a way of figuring out. Oh, this is what I did for overall speed. Yeah. Okay. I only want to do that once. Square roots probably take a little bit of time. So we'll do it here. So figure that out just before getting tired. And here, we're still moving quick. And now that's jumping. We'll go to tired. He kind of just doesn't move. Oh, I see. He stops briefly. So I could. I'll just stop him moving right away. We'll see what happens. Oh, Joey just let me know he released his Metroid Prime 4 video on his channel. Very nice. I don't think I'm slowing him down. Yeah. I think there's one frame where he's not moving in the transition, and that's actually creating a problem right now. So we want to slow down. Oh, okay. I don't. We want to set the lerp speed right at the beginning, and because this should only happen kind of once. I think the max speed should be 0. So we'll see if he slows down. Like, we'll see if I have to add something in or it takes care of it normally. Not quite. That was more like it. So I'll probably have to just add some movement to that one frame. I feel like it's a stutter there, and I'll probably have to slow down the acceleration differently than normal. It's not bad. Maybe it's more fun though when he just when he just stops by the player, and he could do the Kirby whoo, 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 and just fall asleep if you missed him. Or if he misses a player, he gets angry, he jumps away, stomps around a little, and then gets tired. The main thing was that the stomp pushed away the player, so it made it kind of hard to get to him right away. Like, you'd have to go away and come back. That's pretty close. He could also maybe do a spin jump at the end and then get tired. Do a couple spin jumps. Well, let's see it one more time and I'll end it. That's weird when he just stops and hits me. Yeah, he almost got caught in the crusher there. I don't think I'll make it in time. He's gonna get recover. Nope, I just got it. This is where on the later phases, it's kind of broken still, and it's something's happening where it's running slow, but. I feel like maybe something is being generated a lot. Yeah, so I'll have to work on the different phases when he zips 2 and 3 times. And decide what to do at the end of a zip. If you should slide or stop and hop to be tired. And then I'll add in the phase where he kind of just drops and oh, that was surprising. Drops and crushes cars. Yeah, definitely something's happening on the second phase here. Like he's creating a bunch of spikes I see under. Whoa, yeah. He created like 1 billion spikes under him, so there's some sort of bug there. It's good to know. All right, that's it for today. Thank you everyone for being here. Good progress. Hopefully fun stream next time, unless I feel like I'm super close to the boss. Hope everyone has a great Friday and a great weekend, and good luck in your creative stuff. Bye, everybody. Oh, thank you, Antonio. Yes, I think I'll take your good luck because you can always need it for different things with that. But it's a practice one in a way, so hopefully it creates luck for later. And enjoy the rest of Pokemon ZA over there. I hope you get to do some draw it soon. Bye.